but it's okay because now we have the MVP throwing to the Offensive Rookie of the Year. And it's a beautiful thing to watch here in Tampa Bay. This offense is exciting. Carlos, I've been a Bucs fan my entire life, and I'm going to say something very, very bold that a lot of people are probably going to hate. But this is the funnest team that I've ever watched in Tampa, and I think that we are witnessing the best quarterback play that we've ever seen here in Tampa Bay right now with Baker Mayfield this season.
Whoa! What about TB12?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Beardzone Sports Talk. My name is David. That is Carlos. And we are going to be talking about our two teams, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Miami Dolphins. Two different stories this year for sure for either team. So, but if you are new here and if you're a Florida person and you like the football, this is the podcast for you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Carlos, let's get right into it. Let's talk about your Miami Dolphins. 1-4 right now. About just over a quarter of the way through the season. Last week, they had what should have been a winnable game in Carolina against the Panthers, and it looked like that they were going to win, and then Rico Dowdle decided to run all over that defense of yours. We talked about it on the Monday episode. It was a very rough game for Miami. But, Carlos, your Miami Dolphins are now going up against kind of a declining Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, they started off really hot. The early talks were, holy crap, the Chargers are going to run away with this AFC West division because let's not forget the Kansas City Chiefs, they started like 0-2. Chargers started 3-0, I want to say, or 2-1. They looked really good. They looked dominant. And now they're starting to do the decline. Miami's been up and down the past couple of weeks. What do you see? I feel like that because now, Carlos, we're coming up to week 6, and week 6 has been infamous when it comes down to if a coach is going to get fired, they're going to get fired most likely around this time period. And the Mike McDaniel rumor mill has been going around. The hot seat has been turned up for sure. I don't know if the owner or the GM has come out against Mike McDaniels as of yet. I haven't heard anything. But what do you feel like is what's going to be the turning point, if there is one, for your Dolphins this week?
I mean, at this point, the players are literally, well, some are playing for, auditions, for down the road. They're especially their secondary. And then some might maybe for an upcoming trade. But I feel like if the players are really liking McDaniel, they'll play, they'll play their hardest for him. So I just don't know if that's there because you keep hearing about some ex-players that are just like, they didn't like their time in Miami. They didn't like the fun-loving culture was not like what they thought it was going to be. It's kind of like that grass is greener. I'm going to go there. It's Miami. It's cool. My coach is cool. And then you're like, well, damn, we're not winning. I'd rather have somebody that's tough on me and win. I mean, these are professional athletes, so it's going to be interesting. But I took a double dose of melatonin last night, and I had a dream. I would like to say we won in that dream, but we didn't. So,
oh no, not even in your dreams.
In my dreams, we can't even get away. There's a sliver of hope here for the Dolphins. I know last week they have the Carolina, but like you said, we're looking at a Chargers team's on decline. They lose Slater right off the bat, or Marion Hampton is out. Keenan Allen's doing Keenan Allen things again, where he's a little nicked up here and there. So and that O line's not that great. It's definitely seen better days. So I feel like this is a game that the Dolphins are going to be in. Whether they win or not, that's up to their pride, what's left in there, and they got to dig down. But this is a game. It's at home. It's a winnable game for them. Like, this was that stretch I was hoping to see a Dolphins team that, okay, maybe the first few games, something was just off. But that they could run and do maybe win 3 or 4 or something like that. But Tua's they're gonna have to get better, man. And the problem is we could say that I'm gonna say that every week. It's just it's hope at this point. But
Yeah.
that O-line isn't
Welcome
going
to
get
the world
more.
of being a Dallas Cowboy fan.
It's true. How did you guys do it as Bucs fans for all those years in the creamsicles? And I don't know how you made it through those times, but the O-line's not going to get more talented overnight. Yeah, you guys are doing great. But that O-line's not going to get more talented. Those corners aren't all of a sudden going to become playing like first-round draft picks. Like there's we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here. So, but it's a game. I'm hoping that these players are playing for pride, for the coach, their staff, and they're going to give it their all. And we'll see. Maybe the Dolphins come out with a victory here, but they're going to need to definitely get off his pride horse here and stop not taking this criticism to heart and play. I mean, they're paying him a lot of money not to whine about criticism.
Yeah, and I mean, I talked about it last episode, I believe it was. I'm not going to talk about it again. Listen, us in the media, and listen, we're not big media guys, but us as fans and in the media, their job is to critique. That's what we do. We're never going to be satisfied. That's just the part of the game. The players, they're going to not want to be critiqued, but at the end of the day, that's just how it is. And when you're the face of a franchise, shut up, man. Just shut up. It's part of the game. To sit there and to stand behind a podium and to say, well, you come and play quarterback. Brother, we know we can't play quarterback in the NFL.
I would love to come play quarterback.
Yeah.
40 plus million out. Just give me a shot.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, I'll do my best. That's what.
Yeah, Uncle. What was it? Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
I got a van. No.
Hey, yeah.
So here's the problem with the Dolphins is like, so we saw with the Jets game, Tyreek had an epiphany. He's being the leader we're looking for. He's vocal all week in practice, the pregame, and then he goes down for the year. Who's next? Who steps up now? Who's that guy? Who's gonna
be
that
Tua.
Guy? But he's not that guy. I don't think he's that guy. It's got to come from somewhere else, whether it's Fitzpatrick or it needs one of its superstars to finally give us that Ed Reed moment in the tunnel.
You know what, man? Put Darren Waller in the middle of that huddle and get those boys.
He's gonna wrap something that's just gonna anger me.
Hey, at the end of the day, he's had 2 great back-to-back weeks. He's looking at probably making it a third good back to the three-peat coming out of retirement here. Yeah. Carlos, these 2 quarterbacks have come into the league. They came into the league at the same time. It was Tua, Justin Herbert. Which one was going to go number 1? We knew whoever went number 1 was going to go number 2, and that's exactly how it went, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah. But both of them have had inconsistent careers thus far. Both of them have gotten paid. Both of them have done enough to get that second paycheck. And I don't want to take that away from them, but neither of them have really done too much in the postseason or any in the postseason. And they've just had up and down careers at this point. Carlos, from a Miami's fan, is there ever that thought of, man, if we would have picked Justin, if we would have been able to get Justin instead of Tua, is there ever that thought, or do you think that it would be the same song and dance if it was Justin on this Miami offense?
When Tua was drafted, you're a Dolphin fan. I'm a Dolphin fan, so I'm going to be like, oh, it's Tua. It wasn't my choice because he had the injury at Alabama. I felt he had a stacked team around him. He is an accurate quarterback. I would have much rather have had Herbert. Herbert for what they're trying to do on offense is stretch the field with guys who run these sub 4.3 40s. You need an arm that can throw the ball 70 yards, and Tua's never been that guy, even at Alabama. But Tua had one thing, and maybe he didn't at Alabama. I think that's the part that it was kind of the wool pulled over our eyes, is that he kind of looked like a leader at Alabama, like he was taking the reins. And all in all, it was always Nick Saban. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he had Devontae Smith. He even had Jalen Waddle. Like he had
Yeah.
a squad there.
He
And
did.
at hindsight, I mean, it's 2020 now, but I 100% would have rather have taken Justin Herbert. I don't think that's the problem with those two. I mean, the stats wise, Herbert's had the better career, but I feel like they're both kind of a little bit of disappointment. Just one's more than the other. I think the Dolphins have failed Tua in his. I think they're in what, year 7 now? 6, 7? Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
That they in 6 years they haven't given him any kind of an offensive line, or something to help him, because every quarterback, I've never seen a really good quarterback, and I'm trying to think, that just killed it, that had a really crappy offensive line. I don't know where that quarterback lives, but I don't think you could put anybody behind that line and see a lot of success. So, I mean, at this point, I would have rather traded both of those quarterbacks, started taking some high end like swell from the Lions and all these other guys that have tackles that have turned out to
Penny
be
Sewell.
beasts. Yeah, like.
Well, I mean, the offensive line has definitely been a big struggle, but I feel like that the Chargers, not by any choice of theirs, but have kind of nerfed their offensive line to kind of match yours because of the injuries that they have sustained.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is going to be a game where the defensive line, that front four that you've been talking about, Carlos, all year long, on how they need to start plugging up those holes against the run and how they need to start getting after the quarterback more and producing more pressure, this is going to be the game to do it, because you're not only face up a banged up Chargers offensive line. Now the Chargers, now over the past couple of weeks now, they've produced a lot of penalties and a lot of yards in those penalties. So if you said something earlier, and it was, this is going to be a game where no one is really out of it, and I think the Chargers are going to keep the Dolphins in it if they continue to have these dumb penalties.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, Carlos, I'm taking the Chargers here with this game. It's that defense for Miami worries me, man. I mean, that's just how it is.
And
And
that back in, I could see Quentin Johnson, doubling his season numbers on here. So,
yeah,
but the good thing is Hanson's out. There are 2 running backs behind them. Aren't those guys? They're not Hampton. They got Vital, who's more of a bruiser. Probably fits their Miami's defensive scheme. Like, I'll take a 3-yard carry every time. And Haskins is, this guy's, he's not. They're not Hampton. They're not Najee. So Miami can, they got to pick their poison here. Are they going to try to defend the pass, or are they going to? You got to do, like, pick one and hope to back end. If it's me, I put more pressure on that front end and go, hey, you front 6, you got to stop the run. I need 5 in the back to help out. I've got to be able to run in some kind of a zone or something in the back. But you front 6 you're gonna have to carry the load and stop the run. So, and the talent's there. That's the frustrating part with that front 6. It's there. It's just, man, is it underperforming? I know Bradley Chubb has 4 sacks, but I feel like they're like those garbage fantasy football points at the end. They're nothing is like relevant. Like, oh, I got a sack at the end there. So.
Well, speaking of a garbage time, that's never a thing in the team that we're about to be talking about, and that's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. These guys, 4-1, have the 6th opportunity in franchise history to go 5-1, but they have a little bit of an uphill battle against the San Francisco 49ers coming into Tampa this week. The 49ers are banged up. Don't know yet exactly if Mac Jones or Brock Purdy is going to play, but either one have been, very successful in this Kyle Shanahan's offense. I don't think you can put a quarterback in a Kyle Shanahan's offense and they don't produce at this point. The track record is incredible. Definitely revitalized Sam Darnold's career, which we had a big shootout with the Seattle Seahawks last week, but we ended up coming out on top. Some people call it luck. I call it, hey, this is just a gritty football team, and we are led by I'm going to say it right now, Carlos, the MVP favorite, and that's Baker Mayfield. This kid is playing out of his freaking mind right now. I mean, 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. Talk about a guy who completely turned everything around in his career. A guy who went from always turning the ball over to protecting the ball, extending plays, winning these close games that he used to always drop. Even prior to Tampa, I mean, this team right now, and they're doing it banged up. That offensive line is still not healthy. Yes, we have Tristan Wirfs back, and that is huge because now Graham can be in the middle. Now Cody Mock is out for the year at right guard, so that's gonna be a hole because Cody is a great right guard. But our offensive line is starting to get a little bit put together, but we still have Mike Evans out. Chris Godwin is back, but honestly, he's not been producing very well, but it's okay because now we have the MVP throwing to the offensive rookie of the year. And it's a beautiful thing to watch here in Tampa Bay. This offense is exciting. Carlos, I've been a Bucs fan my entire life, and I'm going to say something very, very bold that a lot of people are probably going to hate. But this is the funnest team that I've ever watched in Tampa. And I think that we are witnessing the best quarterback play that we've ever seen here in Tampa Bay right now with Baker Mayfield this season.
Whoa. What about TB12?
TB
Super
had a
Bowl. He brought the
phenomenal.
ring.
He did. But let me tell you something. There is something special about this team. I can feel it in the air, the energy. There, as a Bucks fan, when we lose big games, when we lose in the playoffs, or whenever that might be, it sucked. But it was almost like I was used to it. Last year, even when we lost in the playoffs to Tom Brady, that Rams game against when we played the Rams and we were out of it, we came back with Tom Brady. We rallied back. It was a game, and then Matthew Stafford hit Cooper Kupp down the middle and pretty much iced the game. That sucked. That hurt. Last year, when we lost in the playoffs, that stung. Then that still keeps me up at night because that team was fun to watch with Bucky Irving. The way that Baker Mayfield was playing last year, the defense was really getting after the quarterback and playing very well. This team right now this year, there's something special. I think everyone in Tampa Bay can feel it. This team has a real shot of going the full distance to the end of the year, and I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, Baker's playing well. I'm not giving him MVP status just yet, but yeah, they are. They got to get. They need Bucky.
Who's on your list for MVP then?
Oh, right now I have to go Matthew Stafford. He leads the league in yards. He's leading the league in, I believe, touchdowns. Actually, Jared Goff, my bad. He's second in touchdowns. He's 2 interceptions. Got to give it to the old guy. But I like both guys, but I have to give every positive vibe I can to Stafford because he's on 2 of my fantasy football teams. So
there it is.
Yeah. I'm praying this guy throws for 5,000 yards and we see the old Georgia Bulldog have an MVP season here with about 45 touchdowns would be nice too. So, but the Bucs, you're right. They got to get healthy. I actually was talking with some Buck fans a couple days ago, and it's weird because we talked about last week. Can Jason Light do what he never does? Because they all said they need an edge rusher. All of them. These are the group of 4 guys. All of them. And they said, we'll see what Jason Light does. And my response to this, you know what Jason Light's going to do? Nothing. Because he doesn't make in-season trades. He doesn't do those.
He doesn't trade.
He's great at scouting, signing, working contracts. And they're like, no. I'm like, no. You watch. He's not going to do anything. But they have the offense is Super Bowl is championship quality, especially when Evans comes back and they got time. As you're winning, just let Bucky heal. Don't let him come back. And same thing with Evans. But as soon as you get Bucky and Evans and Emeka And then Godwin. I mean, just Godwin's presence on the field will do enough. He doesn't.
Yeah.
It'll do enough. The alpha guy has already said, "Hey, yeah." It's crazy because the two guys that your young guys with Irving and Mecca, they are the two leading receivers for the Bucs right now. And Mecca has, I think he's at least double 2.5 times the next receiver. So that guy's got to stay healthy. He's just dynamic. They can't lose him, and they definitely can't lose Baker for sure. But they
No.
got the makings. But this week it's going to be an interesting matchup because the freaking 49ers won't lose. That injury list is long. Kittle's still out. Their whole starting offense is out. Think about this. Brissett McCaffrey. Kittle's out. Pearsall's out. Jennings is out. Ayuk is out. Like, why are they winning? And it's just their defense is not the defense it was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, but it does what it needs to do. Schleier's got that defense. They got that dog back, but they find a way to win. And they got McCaffrey, man. Who thinks that Bourne last week's going to have a career night? Crazy stats that he has. But the good thing is the Bucs get them while they're down because the following week I think you're going to see the 49ers. I think everybody's coming back. Kittle's back. Jennings should be back. And Pearsall's back.
I think Kittle might be out for the year.
No, he's coming back. Yeah, they announced that he will be back next week. He's a long shot for this week, but he's definitely coming back the next week. So he's I mean they're getting these guys in. Depending on who the quarterback is, I don't know if either one can make it the game. We saw Mac Jones had to do an old Brian Leftwich Marshall days, and they had to they should have been carrying that guy around. So, and then Purdy's hurt. So, I mean, the Bucs have got to. I don't think by any means it's going to be a blowout. I think the 49ers will come to play. We'll see. They're going to get a heavy dose of Christian McCaffrey, though. That is definitely coming their way.
But here's the thing. Something about this Bucs defense, we contain the run so well. It doesn't matter what running back we go up against. We always contain the run so well. That front four, even though they can't get pressure, because Vita Vea is in the middle of that, we get the job done as far as containing the running back. Now, Christian McCaffrey is a very dynamic running back. He goes out for passes and he can play very well. And hell, I think you can even probably put Christian McCaffrey in the slot for especially in that offense, and he'll produce for you. Mac Jones, he's good enough to win you games. We've seen it. It's going to come down to man. I really think that we might be in for another shootout here in Tampa. I really do, because both defenses are susceptible to giving up big plays. Both defenses are susceptible to giving up points. But the reason why both of these teams are winning is because they continue to they can produce on offense. That's just how it is. Who's going to have the ball last? I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. And man, if we can get to 5-1 going into Detroit next week, that's a huge win for us, because we're then after the Lions next week, that's when we're kind of starting to come out of this gauntlet of games. We still have a couple that we have to get through, and that's going to be the double, the whammy there at the end, which is where we go on the road to Buffalo and then we're on the road to Los Angeles. That's going to be tough, especially with the way that both of those teams are playing. They're both heavy hitters. But this is a chance. The Bucs dropped the ball against the Eagles, and then they came back swinging against another top contender in the NFC to start making their, hey, we're here. We can compete with the best. This is another top NFC team. Let's make a mark. Let's go ahead and get this dub. Let's get to 5-1, and let's go on to the road to the Detroit Lions, because they're starting to get hot at the right time. That's going to be a tough game to win. But then we have a little bit of a break with the Saints and the Patriots before we have to go up against the Bills and the Rams on the road. And then after that, chalk it up as a win out after that, because the rest of the teams after that for the rest of the season, I mean, Cardinals, Saints, Falcons, Panthers, Dolphins, and then Panthers again. I think we can win all of those games, especially because by then, hopefully, we'll be fully healthy and starting to get into playoff mode. So, but this Bucs team, man, they're so much fun to watch. They're so much fun to watch, and Tom Brady, thank you for changing the entire history of this franchise because I have never been so consistently excited to watch Tampa and been watching them win so consistently. And you know what, Carlos, before we go, I think it's time for the Tampa fans to make an apology, a public apology, and that is to Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles, hell of a coach.
Whoa, you might be going a little early here. Careful.
No. Todd Bowles has, you know what? He's stayed true to who he is. He's stayed consistent. He's gotten a lot of grief and a lot of criticism over the past couple of years since taking over the reins from Bruce Arians. It's not been an easy road. There has been some very questionable, games, but now we're starting to win those games that we always lost when we were calling for his head. We're starting to win these close games now. And that's just because of the culture and the locker room that he allows his players to have. He's a guy who he's the lead, but at the same time he gives all of his players that, hey, you be you. And that's something that Baker Mayfield said from the very beginning. The reason why he chose Tampa is because they said, hey, we don't need you to be this. We don't need you to be that. We need you to be Baker Mayfield and be the best version of you. And we're getting the best version of Baker Mayfield. And now the Cleveland Browns fans, sorry about your luck.
They got no luck. That franchise is doomed. I don't know if the city of Cleveland can handle them winning a Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure it would be burned down on there. So, I mean,
Jeez.
I would probably fly up there and start a fire too. Like, oh my God, they won!
Oh my God!
Yeah,
it's happening. It's happening.
Buy a bunch of fire extinguishers and sell them.
Yeah. So, but I mean, hey, this team is fun to watch. I'm excited to see it. Seriously, MVP Baker Mayfield, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Emeka Egbuka. I'm gonna continue to say that until someone else decides to step up and take that.
He's definitely getting that for sure.
Unless
something happens at his rate, even when Evans comes back, I don't foresee him not getting the ball.
5 games, 445 yards, 5 touchdowns over his first 5 games in the NFL, and he's made big time catches. Yeah. He had that big catch 3rd and 15 last week when we needed to score. He had another big 3rd down catch against the Jets to keep us in that game. The guy is a walking first down machine. He's having an incredible year, and this is truly, I think, the passing of the torch from Mike Evans to Emeka. And man, God, dude, I love this team. I absolutely love this team. I'm so excited for it.
That's one thing I forgot to ask those guys was, are they watching the passing of the torch from Evans? And it's hard because Mike Evans. I can't imagine him in another uniform, but the 49ers said that about Jerry Rice too. So at some point, at some point, there was even one Bucs fan I know was calling a couple of years ago ahead and trade him while he still had value. So I was like,
okay.
But what you got for a score here? I don't want to be a hater, so I'm gonna look at this with a clear head for the Bucs game. You know what? I'm gonna go 31. I'm gonna stay with my prediction with the Hurricane game and forsake 31-17 Bucs.
Wow. Okay.
I think there's too many injuries on the 49ers. I mean, right now they don't even have a starting quarterback. I don't even know who third string is, but I can tell you anybody they're like, oh, okay, we're okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
And I like that
they're
guy.
not okay. Yeah. No. Those days were gone when they had Lance and they were they were 3 deep. But I don't have any faith that they're going to have a healthy quarterback to line up. I mean, Mac looked terrible at the end of the Rams game. He had a great game. Don't get me wrong, but he took some beatings there, and he's gonna, you know, he's gonna take some.
With the history of the Bucs pass rush, he kind of has the week off. So I mean, go for it.
Well, whoever's on Trent Williams' side, it's done. I don't expect to get a pressure from that side. So if Yaya's lined up over Trent Williams, then forget about it. That guy's going to shut everybody down. That is hard to argue.
I think that is
upgraded.
Yaya's side. So we'll see what we'll see what happens. You know what, man? I like the 30. I'm gonna go 34-27. I think it's gonna be a little bit of a higher scoring game. Like I said, man, Kyle Shanahan, he just has a way about him. So 49ers have gotten the best of the Bucs, more often than not. So, but in most recent history, Tampa has been more on the winning side of things between these two matchups. So, but again, it's a big matchup, man. It's a top team in the NFC. You lost 2 weeks ago. You won last week. Let's go ahead and let's get the next dub. Let's be 2-1 against top NFC teams. Let's go in with good momentum to Detroit. Hey, boys, we're almost out of this gauntlet. The light's there at the end of the tunnel, but man, those last 2 weeks there with Buffalo and the Rams, that's rough. That is rough, especially with it being on the road. So, but let us know down there in the comment section what you guys think. We appreciate you guys. If you're new here, this is the Beardzone Sportscast or Sports Talk podcast. If you're a football fan in the state of Florida, this is the podcast for you. Follow us on all of our social media down there in the description below. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we will be back next Monday talking about hopefully 2 wins for both of these teams. We shall see. So, but until Monday,